really nice and weird to be back to my regular schedule. It feels like it's been months and months and not just 1 month. Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome back to another new movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Slice. Real quick, a few housekeeping things. I just want to give a quick shout out to a new patron, John Stanton, who just recently joined the Creepy Patron Peep family. Thank you so much for your support, John, and all my other Creepy Patron Peeps as well. If you want to find out the perks to being a patron, you can follow that link in the description. I was going to review Suspiria for today, but apparently it is not playing in my local theater and it's only playing certain theaters around me, so I'm gonna have to drive a little bit to go see it this coming weekend, which means the review for you won't be up on Monday. So I do apologize about that. I did not know it was not gonna be released in every single theater. Anyways though, let's get into Slice. So written and directed by Austin Vesely, Slice takes place in the town of Kingfisher, where beings like witches, ghosts, and werewolves are very real. One day, someone starts murdering pizza delivery men in Ghost Town, and the mayor is quick to blame disgraced werewolf Dax Lysander. Dax, with the help of reporter Sadie and newly murdered, now ghost, Astrid, finds the people responsible for the murders and clear Dax's name. Alright, so as the movie title suggests, this does have a lot to do with a pizza place, you know, pizza delivery people. So the marketing for the movie, you know, had a little fun with that and spoofed logos from Little Caesars, Domino's, and Pizza Hut as a means to promote the film. I did like the look of this movie. It felt very 80s in style and lighting, and especially the score with like a whole bunch of like synthy bits felt very 80s and retro. Vicky, didn't you just say in your Summer of 84 review that you're tired of the 80s throwbacks? Hear me out, people. I liked that the movie's visual style and the score was inspired by the 80s, but the movie wasn't actually set in the 80s, and I feel like it does make a difference. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just gonna call bullshit in the comments, but whatever. This movie reminded me a lot of The Love Witch, which also has a very, you know, throwback, retro style, but does take place in some modern time, not necessarily present day, but Slice does the same thing. Like, while they never establish what time period it's set in, it's definitely not the 80s or the 90s, really. You can tell with the use of technology. I like that. I do like that. It's just, like for me with the 80s thing, it's just the amount of ones that obviously are taking from the style, but also setting the movie in the 80s. Which kind of brings me to like a side note slash question that I wanted to bring to you guys, because I thought of it while I was writing my review for this movie, because I've been, you know, I complain a lot about all of the 80s throwback movies, how it's very much become the thing, like with, I think Stranger Things really kind of popularized it, and I feel like a lot of studios were trying to capitalize on that a little bit because Stranger Things is so popular. But I found myself thinking, you know, because you know, there are so many people that are really loving the 80s throwbacks, like all the movies like set in the 80s, and like Stranger Things again, Summer of 84, like so many other movies that have come out that are set in the 80s and have that nostalgia feel to them. I found myself asking, like, if people love this so much, like, and they, you know, they like how it's like the style of the 80s and all that, why not just watch a movie from the 80s, right? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just, you know, I thought it was an interesting question. Just thought I would play devil's advocate, you know. So I'm really interested to hear what you think about that in the comments, if you don't mind. Other than that, the whole 80s thing, the other thing I really liked about the movie is that it established kind of like the rules of the town without overly explaining anything. Like, I was able to accept rather quickly that this is like a town that has ghosts, that has witches, that has werewolves. And, you know, I didn't need it overly explained. Like, I think they did a good job of just kind of like establishing it and kind of like establishing the rules, I should say. Not like the rules, but kind of like the lay of the town. Like, there's ghosts and there's a part of town called Ghost Town where all these ghosts live, and you know, things like that. Like they establish that early on. They don't overly explain it, but it's just like, it's just enough to where it's like, okay, like I accept this. I didn't find myself questioning it the whole movie, which would have kind of ruined the movie for me a little bit. As far as the humor goes, it fell flat for me. Like, I know this is a horror comedy, but it felt more like a comedy horror, if that makes sense. The jokes felt very forced, and it was in like every other bit of dialogue, and it just was very tiring. It just got tiring very early on in the movie. And kind of related to that, the dialogue also just kind of sucked in general. The lines felt unnatural, felt forced. A lot of the performances were not great either, and although, you know, that's kind of hard to tell when you don't have the script or anything like that in front of you. So I don't know if it was just the writing or if it was a combination. Although Zazie Beetz, who plays Astrid in the movie, was the best of the bunch in my opinion. And she, like, her performance was good, but she still had some pretty stupid lines in the movie. So maybe it was more a combination of the writing and the performances. Like some of hers were not bad. She could like half sell me on some of them, but as far as the effects go, like the makeup effects, practical effects were just okay. A lot of it was mostly just kind of like ghostly makeup, so nothing too crazy or too special. There are some like more gory things in there which were cool. CGI effects though were weird. It was weird. Like I was like watching them and I couldn't really tell if they were bad or not. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. It just was kind of just like, I don't know. They felt weird. Although I'm sure I'm putting up examples in front of my face, but they just felt weird. That like, I can't explain whether I liked them or not. I don't think I did. I would have definitively put them in the like category if I did, so. Anyways though, was Slice worth it? Not for me. I feel like you could skip this one. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 4.5 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 59% critic score and a 46% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.2 out of 5. You can watch this movie on Amazon. Like I always do, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to rent the movie on Amazon also. That is an affiliate link. There's no pressure to use it, but if you do, it does help out the channel a little bit. There's also a page on my blog, which is also linked in the description, where all of the movies that I watched this month that are available to stream, that aren't new releases, will be on that page. So if at any time during the month of November, if you want to go back and rent a movie that I was talking about, the affiliate links are also there. Like I said, they're affiliate links still, so just so you know. Anyways though, if you've already seen Slice, please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a creepy peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video or every time I go live. Speaking of going live, myself and Emma are coming back with another episode of Does This Offend You, which is going live on this channel, my channel, Nightmare Maven, this Friday at 10 p.m. Are we doing it at 10? Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you guys there for that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!